Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Anisa, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. Everything I will be linked to down below in the description. And let's get right into the video. So for today's video, I'm gonna have a Aivy Co unboxing and review. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here is her business card, and she also put in a little plant sticker, which is really cute, by the way. And she wrapped these very nice, and I'm pretty sure she's in Florida and I'm in Texas, so it didn't take too long to get to me. And here is the back of the bottle, and these only need to cure for 30 seconds if it's a LED, and I think 1 full minute, maybe 2 minutes if it's a UV. So do what's best for your lamp. So I bought this blue color, and I also bought a nude. I bought 2 liner brushes, one 15mm and one 20mm. And yes, so let's get into me doing the tips. So this is going to be a gel X set, as you guys can see. So these tips are from Una Gela. I've used these before and I really enjoy these. The only issue is there is not enough tips in the actual box. I've had to buy 2 boxes and I keep running out of the same size. It's always the 4s. They always run out, and like no other size runs out, you guys. So when I was making them for other people, the press-ons, it was like embarrassing because like I'm having to buy a 4, like a whole box for another set. So not enough tips come in the actual box. But if you don't do your nails very often, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be fine. So like I said, I'm using the Melody 2-in-1. It's like very easy because it's a manicure lamp, and then you click the button on top and it turns into the UV LED. So it is like perfect. I didn't push the nail down all the way before I brought it up close to the lamp, so it left an air bubble, which I have to fill in later. In case you're wondering how you fill it in, you just kind of go ahead and push some gel in there from the top and then go ahead and cure it again. So I'm going to explain my ring finger, but this is a nail glue gel from the Beatles. That's what it's called. It comes in their nail glue and tip kit. I have a video on that if you want to see it, but this is the original one that I have. Like, this bottle has lasted me for a very, very long time. It's been like 2 years, you guys. So what I do first is I put a thin layer on my natural nail, make sure it's covered all the way, and then you could cure this if you wanted to, and then add another layer, or do your base coat and then do this. It just depends, but you want to leave that layer wet of the second layer you do, and then put some in the base of the little nail. Push it back, but bring it up to the lamp, and you want to make sure the gel covers your natural nail entirely. If there's any gel on your skin, go ahead and wipe it off. And I've gotten better at knowing how much gel to use. Once you put it on your finger the first time, and then put the one that has the glue in it, like the actual tip, it makes it so much easier because it kind of just spreads everywhere and follows where you leave the gel. So it makes it a much easier process. So here's everything after I cured it in my big lamp for a full 60 seconds because you want to make sure the nails are actually cured on. You want to use your tip cutters next and just cut the tips to your desired length. To me, especially if you're doing it on yourself, it's easier to just get your tip cutter or your scissor and cut it to your length so you don't have to do too much shaping, because a lot of shaping will not go too well from what I've noticed with these like determine like tips, like the full cover tips, because they're much thicker, so it's harder. I'm using a Pan-Up 5-in-1 to go around my cuticle area and get rid of the actual hump there, because there's like a little disconnect. Also, there's like gel around it that kind of pushed up a little bit, so you want to get rid of that too and make sure it's flat and flush. My middle finger, I didn't push it back all the way, and you can also remove the shine from the inside of the tip if that helps you, and go around the cuticle area with your sanding band before you glue the nails on, and that will help you get it just a little bit more flush. But right now all I'm doing is removing the shine from the tip with the buffer I got from Natali Carmona. After I'm done with removing the shine with the buffer, I went ahead and tried to like straighten things out because I noticed it was kind of like warped due to the fact that I hit it with the buffer a little bit weird. So I tried to straighten it. I don't really, like I said, I don't really like to shape them because if you're going to use a like full cover nail tip, you might as well get it in that shape you're already getting it in. So like you can buy almond ones, stiletto ones, long, short, medium. So you kind of might as well just like buy them in those separate categories. But I went ahead and used the sanding band again on certain fingers just because it wasn't the way I wanted it to be. At the cuticle area, like I said, you can remove the shine completely with the sanding band if you want to, but it's just because it's so small, you might as well just use the buffer because you're gonna have more control and it's gonna be a little bit faster. Make sure you dust everything off very, very well, and make sure you use an alcohol wipe and wipe the nails down incredibly well. I wiped the nails down just a little bit. I didn't wipe it down all the way, and there was so much dust in this base coat, because I love to apply base coat because it makes the nails a little bit stronger and the polish does not peel. Sometimes I notice if I do not use a base coat, even if I rough up the nail and do all those steps, it could still peel. So I just go ahead and add base coat just to be safe, because every time I use base coat, nothing has ever peeled, chipped, cracked, never stuck, any of it. The only issue is the dust. This is the first layer, and the first layer always catches the most amount of dust. So even if I was going in straight with the nude, or whatever design I was going to do, because all my designs are pretty much a freestyle, I'll tell you when they're not, but literally it would have been so bad, you guys. Here are the tips that I use. I want to show you guys because I realized I didn't show it in the beginning. And then here I am taking out the brushes for the first time, and y'all, I almost messed it up here. Like, I was already upset, like, because I bent it a little bit and I was like, wait a minute, because yeah, that is how I messed up one of my brushes before. I'm trying to put it back in the cap, and I bent it so bad. Like, I was already mad at myself right then and there. I was like, you already messed the brush up. But it was fine. These brushes have a lot of hair to them. That's one thing I noticed. I'm pretty sure that's why it doesn't stick together. It's because even though it's thin, this one is called Warm Silk. That's the nude. Even though it's thin, it still has a little bit of, you know, like hair to it, which I really enjoy. The 15mm, which is the shorter one of the two I have, that one is a bit thicker than the longest one, which is the 20. So yeah, I bought the two longest brushes just because I don't use the smaller brushes, you guys. I really don't. So I might as well just buy the longer ones and see how they were. Everything was $13. So the polishes were $13. The brushes were $13, and it was worth it in my opinion, because everything just works so well. You guys see how much dust there is, and it like came out of nowhere. At first I thought it was the base coat, but it wasn't. It was just dust that was coming just from the air. Literally, that's what it was, and it was getting trapped in the gel. So whenever that happens, you just kind of have to scoop it out or just wipe the nail off completely and hope you get all the dust out while you're there. Always use a cleanup brush. That is my biggest tip. Always have one, because when I was doing this set, I was like, I don't need a cleanup brush. And I messed a ton of stuff up not using a cleanup brush. My cuticles looked so bad. Like, I had to go in after the fact and really like go in with the sanding band and some other stuff. And here is all this dust, you guys. Do you see that? That is not the base coat. That is dust from the air getting trapped in the nail. So you want to go ahead and wipe that off as best you can. Make sure, you see how like I have a paper towel down there? Make sure you dust that off or you replace it. Do something like that, because if you just leave that dust on there, it could also get trapped in the nail. And do not put the brush back in there without wiping the dust off. So always use a cleanup brush, and if there's dust in the nail, just wipe it down. Don't try and fight it. Just get the dust out, because it will make it 10 times worse. Keep your like cuticle area clean, your skin clean, because like, you guys, look at the side of my thumb. I already cured that layer, right? So now I'm going in with the second layer. That is cured to my skin, and I would have to file it off. That's what I typically do. I just file it off, and it helps, but I'd rather not have to file the gel off my skin and just wipe it off when I'm at the, in the moment. So my other sets looked much better than this in the cuticle area wise, so please stay tuned for those. I will be uploading them very, very soon. Right before this, I uploaded a 2-part video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I only use alcohol to clean up. Here's when I finally brought out the cleanup brush. It is from Getting Out 32 and it is only $8. I do enjoy her 3-piece brush kit. That one is like, that is how I get my best Frenches with that kit, you guys. I'm being 100% serious. It's just something about those brushes that's perfect, but I keep getting them stuck together. Like, if they did not get stuck together, then it would literally be perfect. So I have to keep replacing those, but these genuinely do cure for 30 seconds only, you guys. 30 seconds, that's it. With my LED lamp, I have a BET UV LED lamp, and it's from Amazon, and I highly recommend it. Right now, because like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do. It was my first time using these brushes, and I was like, the cuticle area is kind of janky, so let's just go ahead and cover it up a little bit. So I decided to do the swirl design, and it made the swirls very easy, you guys. I really do enjoy these brushes. The only thing I'm noticing with the blue polish, which I don't think I showed you guys the name yet, but with the blue polish, it's just a little bit see-through when you're using it for nail art purposes. So you will most certainly have to do 2 coats. But that would be about it. And this Model 1's base coat is fine. I'm going to link another one, though, so you guys don't have to get the full Model 1's kit. I'm going to probably link the Beatles one because that one works good, or like the Madame Glam one. But yeah. So all I did first was swirl some of the white creation gel polish as well as some of the blue polish together. I put the base coat down. I left it wet so we can kind of make a blooming gel. You don't have to buy a blooming gel if you don't want to. Some blooming gels make it like spread faster, some make it spread slower, so it just depends. I should have had my little concoction prepared because it just spread way too much and my brush was too small. So that was like not a good idea because I had to keep going over different areas multiple times. So use a bigger brush than this and kind of like cure it quickly, because when it gets too bloomed out, it doesn't look like swirled or marbled anymore. It kind of just fades into one light blue color. So keep that in mind. And yeah, that was like looking very cute. I could have added gold leaf along the edge if I really wanted to, but I decided not to. And I'm pretty sure I traced it later on with some white. Now I tried to draw a fringe, and y'all, this was eating me up so bad. Like, this right here looks perfect, but for some reason I just couldn't keep my French clean. Like, it was so embarrassing to me. Like, I struggled so bad, and I don't know what was going on, but it was like one side couldn't get even while the other side was even, and I was like, this is unreal. Like, this is not good. So I do end up having to fix it a lot later on. I edited out the vast majority of me struggling. This is my ring finger, and I switched to the longest brush so I could try and get a better smile line, but then it ended up being too short, so I had to wipe it off. So yes, always wipe it off if you do not like it. If you cure it, like it. Remember that. No, if you like it, cure it, because you're not gonna get the same again. Like, it's just kind of, it is what I noticed. So don't hesitate to cure something, and of course, if you don't like it later on, you could try and cover it up, or you could just buff it off with a buffer or a sanding band or something like that. as you guys can see by me having to wipe it off the index finger again, it was a mess for me. Like, I had so much footage of me struggling, but I had to cut it out because this video is already long due to the fact that I had the unboxing and the review in the same video. So yeah, I prefer to do my unboxings like this, by the way, to where it's just all one video. It makes it easier for me so I can kind of remember what I've done and what I haven't done. But yeah, let me know if you like this style of video, even though it is a little bit longer. I can shorten the design part down a little bit if that's what you prefer. So yeah, just let me know if you guys like these design and unboxing videos, or just when I do like a haul pretty much, and then do separate videos on each individual one. Because I can continue to do both like the way that I do them now, or I could just kind of do one or the other, because sometimes I just don't have multiple products. That's kind of the only issue. So after I've cured everything for 30 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and apply a second coat. I went ahead and retraced around the smile line a little bit just so I didn't have to get so close with the other brush, because even though this is like cured already, I would have found a way to mess it up. I already know it. Like, one side would have been higher than the other. It was a mess, you guys. I don't know what happened, but if you're going to make your nails matte, they kind of have to be perfect. Like, because when they're glossy, they can kind of like reflect a lot. So if it's streaky, you kind of can't tell because of the gloss. But if it is streaky, your matte polish will show it. Believe me, every little indent, ripple, any of it, your matte polish will show it. So try and lay your polish as perfectly as you possibly can. Get rid of any like dust or anything like that, because like if you try and top coat it sometimes, or polish over it, sometimes it can cover it up, but other times it just kind of like emphasizes it, and matte top coat really emphasizes it. So try and get everything as smooth as you possibly can. So back to the squirrel nail, which was the easiest nail. Yeah, isn't that insane how I went from struggling with swirl nails to struggling with Frenches, and Frenches were my easy nail? Like, that is embarrassing to think about. Like, I used to be so good at Frenches. I used to do them literally all the time. Like, all I was doing was drawing Frenches and all that stuff, and it was like so easy to me. And now all of a sudden they don't want to work. But in my next couple of sets, I kind of fixed it. But that's why you shouldn't stop practicing, y'all. If you think you're good at it, keep doing it. Like, don't ever, I wasn't that confident because I was thinking that I was doing horrible anyways, but it was better than this, is what I will say. It was much better than whatever that was. So never stop practicing, y'all. It's the moral of the story. So this is the Creation White, and these brushes are so good, y'all. I love the Creation liner brushes. So here's everything so far, and I was like, yeah. But so yeah, that's what everything was looking like so far. And then I went ahead and added the black because I felt like something was missing. And you're gonna see in all my next videos, black is really, like, the black and white is really gonna set it off. Like, I went ahead and added another blue line, and then I did the black line. I was liking the way that the black one on its own was looking at first, but I kind of got weirded out. I don't know, like, and after I did it, I immediately like noticed that it was so much better. But this looks really good. Like, the swirl nail was one of my faves. You need to cure these black polishes for 60, but I was curing them for 30 and they were fine. But always full cure your black, never flash cure, because it'll make it wrinkle. Again, doing stuff with Frenchies was gagging me. I've never been good at like outlining Frenches ever. Like, I've never been good at them. So I was like, let me try it. Like, let me, in 2023, let's just do the stuff that I'm like uncomfortable with. Like, the Frenches, I can do them. Struggled a lot for some reason, but you know, maybe it's because I haven't done, you know, Frenches in a while, like hand painted ones. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But then once I started doing it, it became, you know, back to natural for me. These outline Frenches were never my thing ever, so I kind of gave up with them. Outlining nails, period, I'm not good at. Something about outlining the actual tip is what gags me. Like, and even this, like, that's what was messing me up, was the tip. Like, I was getting the sides even, but trying to make sure the point was not too like wrong was the issue. Like, it was getting very like bumbly, and so I was trying to make sure that it didn't look weird. Like, if I would have looked like this, it would have been fine, but because I'm so up close to the nail, it was making me mess it up. The more changes I added, the worse it got. So if I would have just pulled my hand back, because when I was watching it back on camera while I was editing it for the first time, it just made so much more sense to me. Like, it looked so much better. But when I was like up close, I could see each little like line of black, and it was not good. So that is why I kept like messing with it and all that stuff, even though it was fine. So make sure you like take a step back and really look at your nails. Like, as you can see, I'm looking at them like all the time. Like, I had to cut out so much of this video because the vast majority of the video was me just like looking at the nails, like are these good? Are they okay? But like, really, if I would have just looked, maybe even if I looked through the camera, I would have seen that it's fine. Like, the way that most people are looking at it is not going to be all the way up close anyways, because up close, a lot of things don't look good. So like, and my lines were fine. Like, now that I'm looking back on it, they were 100% fine. I was kind of being like weird about it. So yes, I recommend just looking back and saying it's okay, and seeing if it's actually wrong, because if it looks bad from a distance, then I would go ahead and fix it. But if it looks fine, it looks good, keep it, okay? Because that would have saved me so much time. So because I kept doing so much erasing of the black, it kind of like smeared it around. And if you don't wipe it up all the way and you cure it, it kind of keeps it there. So what I went ahead and did is retrace the French with the nude and filled it in just to get rid of any of the black that was left over. And I ended up tracing the top with the blue again, but I ended up getting some of the blue on the line, which is not really what you want to do. So yeah, that's just an easy way to fix it if you mess up. I went ahead and did some dots because I wanted to do some hearts, and it was very cute to me. I'm pretty sure I added bling on this set, but I could be wrong. If I do use bling, I used the Nail to the Hustle bling as well as some of the LGN bling. So yes, hearts are very easy, but like I said with everything, you kind of just want to take your time and sit back and look at it, because the more you keep pushing it and the more you keep dragging it, you're gonna change it like so far that it's gonna be like, what is this? Like, there's no point in doing this. And I also hate using a cleanup brush, because every time I involve the cleanup brush, I literally mess it up even more. Like I smudge stuff, I smear stuff, I do the wrong thing. So just be careful with that. You could always wipe it all off. But when you kind of like add all your dots at once, you kind of feel like you have to do it all in one go, but you really don't have to. You could always wipe them off and then continue. After I'm done with these hearts, I cured everything for a full 60 seconds. So here's the LGN Bling It gel, and I've had this gel for so long. Literally, like once he first dropped it, I bought it, but I never showed you guys, and I literally spilt the vast majority of the container. So what happened was I left it in my drawer, and it was just sitting there. And then one day, I kind of like really looked at it, and I saw it was flipped over, and I'm like, it's fine because it's sealed. And I was like touching everything in the drawer because I went to look through it, and everything was sticky. And I'm like, uh-oh, because every single Bling little container like that I have spills so bad for some reason. And so I went and I found it spilled everywhere, you guys. Like it was spilled all over the place. And a lot of it is still left. It's like less than half the container, but like I never fully used it before. So that's not very good for me, but at least I still have some, and the product is actually very, very good. Like I've never had an issue with it, but now I'm finally fully being able to use it. I actually really like this and the Macart gel, as well as the Beetles gel. The Beetles just makes good products, y'all, for a very good price. This little picker tool was given to me for free by Bombnails. She put it in one of my packages one time, and yeah, I really enjoy this wax picker, but I also enjoy like the regular wax pencil. That one is the best to me. Sorry for being out of frame so much. I literally do not know what's happening while I was recording. I'm pretty sure I zoomed in while I was recording anyways. So if it was like regular and it wasn't zoomed in, then I would have been 100% in frame, but it is what it is. My next video is like way more in frame, so yes. The matte top coat I use is from LGN. So yeah, like I said, it shows literally everything. As you will see, I was literally covered in like the Bling gel, the gel polish, everything, y'all. I don't know how I got so messy, but I did make sure I cleaned those brushes out very well, and I just cleaned them with alcohol. And like I said, I've used them like 3 times after this, and they are working just like regular. So even in between, I kind of wasn't really like cleaning them. Sometimes I would dip it in alcohol and then dip it in the next color I was going to use, or sometimes I would just straight up dip it in the next color, period. And I did get some of the matte top coat on the nails, not the nails, but on the bling accidentally, so I just went ahead and covered it up with shiny top coat. You're not supposed to put like top coat over your bling, but I kind of had to because I got the matte top coat on it, so it just made it look better. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. Everything I've linked to be linked to down below in the description. And I will see you guys in my next one. The top coat, not the top coat, the cuticle oil I used is the Bombnails Rose Cuticle Oil. And like I said, I did go in and file any of the gel polish off. It would have been easier to file the gel polish off of my skin before I added the bling, so just keep that in mind. Do that, and it will help you a lot more than this. And try not to get the top coat on top of your stones. Like I said, it'll ruin them. But yes, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.